Steel Plaza. Please stand clear of the doors.
Hey listeners, you are listening to Darkest Corners of the World, where we feature independent artists from all over the globe. Thanks for tuning in and telling a friend, and as always, thanks for your donations to keep the ship afloat on increasingly rough seas in these troubled times. You have with you your grouchy friend, it's Brad, in for my next episode. I hope you guys enjoyed the multiverse with Andy and Adam last up. Just a quick reminder about those donations. You can head to thewireriots.com for all the links to all the goodies, all the episodes, but also to a donation button. There's no minimum amount. Anything helps. We do this for love. We do this for the bands. But it always helps to replace mics, etc. when we need to. We have an absolutely top-notch episode coming up for you guys. I'm very, very excited to say that I'm going to have with me Danish monsters, Danish powerhouse, just emerging from the underground up there. Parente O Parente, or O Band Official, or just O, as I personally call them. They are an absolutely cracking band with an absolutely cracking debut album. And straight away, I'm going to give you a taste of that album. It's my personal favourite track. It's called Skantida. And good Lord, turn this one up, guys. If you were listening to me nice and low, I completely understand. But seriously, you have to cop this track at volume. This is Parente O Parente, O with Skantida. That was Parente o Parente O with Skantita. And we have FJ, the vocalist from the band, and MA, the guitarist from the band, here with us now. Greetings, fellas.
Hello.
Hey.
Lovely to have you here with us. It's a real treat. Mate, this album has everything. At the moment, it has my aggressive go-to song, which is Skantita that we just heard. Love jumping in the car if I've got a quick journey to make. That's coming on, and it's coming on at volume. I have to be honest. I've actually been putting that on and then letting the album go, and I actually go to sleep to some of the latter tracks. And that's not a criticism of the album. It's just beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. And you're talking to a guy who, at once upon a time, used to go to sleep to Carcass's necroticism, so I was a bit of a messed up child. But just a beautiful album, and it really, really is broad and it really is authentic. So what makes you guys tick? What brings out that sort of long-form artistry in you guys?
Mostly it's the experiences that we go through life. We try to convey that into music as best we can. So, and that and the EP, like our album SkamHan and the EP is what came of that, really, of us trying to share experiences and feelings.
So I've got to share the story of how I, quite by accident, found you guys. I had been doing my usual house chores on a weekend, and I tend to listen to a lot of death metal and a lot of black metal while I'm doing the chores. The neighbours love it. But I finished my chores. I jumped in the shower, of all places, and somehow the streaming algorithms on a particular streaming platform decided that, and I don't recall which song it was, but decided that it would play one of your tracks. And I kind of jumped out of the shower and ran over and looked at the phone and was like, what the fuck am I listening to? It hit me really hard. So yeah, naked, wet, cold, and enjoying some O. That was my introduction to the fantastic thing that is your album. And look, good job. Streaming platforms, occasionally their algorithms will work for us. So where specifically in Denmark are you guys from?
Zealand.
And so tell us a bit about the town where you're from. Obviously, listeners would like to know where everyone is from in this show.
Yeah, we're kind of spread out on Zealand, but we reside in Copenhagen on Zealand. That's where we rehearse and kind of where we work from.
How would you say where you're from has influenced the music that you make and influenced you as people?
A hard one. It mostly always rains here, so I guess that's something.
You do hear that in the music. I touched on that in the written review I did in the Metal Wanderlust. It does sound like a Scandinavian winter. Now, I've not seen or felt the Scandinavian winter, but your music sure as fuck feels like what it might do.
It's very wet, very cold, and very windy. So basically, that's it.
Yeah, that's very foreign for me. I sent Adam, the co-host of Darkest Corners of the World. He does every odd episode. He's in Pittsburgh, so he has some pretty bad winters over there as well. I sent him a shot last weekend of the city skyline, perfect blue skies, and I don't know if you guys are on Fahrenheit or Celsius, but it would have been about 20 degrees Celsius, and it's literally the middle of winter here. It's we don't really experience too much of a bad winter, I've got to say. Look, Danish metal history, got to straight up mention King Diamond, Merciful Fate, bands like Conqueror, Panzerchrist, Hatesphere, tons of black metal over the years. But I'm interested in who are your countrymen that inspired you growing up? Who are the guys that really got you going?
King Diamond, obviously.
Yeah.
And I guess that I think that my entry into metal was Metallica, and which has kind of like it's a quarter Danish. So I guess Lars Ulrik as well was part of me starting to listen to metal. Yeah.
Nah, for me it was more like well, in Danish in metal was more like ill disposed and Ill-Disposed and Hate Sphere. Those guys.
How about the scene up there right now? Are there Danish bands that you guys have played with recently? Who are the current guys up in the scene in the underground that we should be getting onto?
Redwood Hill.
Yeah, for sure. Redwood Hill is they're just epic and great guys.
Stylistically, what do they do?
Yeah, we actually we should have played at their release concert right as the COVID-19 started, and before that we did talk about that if we were to choose one current Danish band that we would like to play together with, that would be Redwood Hill, because they have kind of the same approach to the music as we do. The music is not entirely similar, but it's kind of the same.
There are similarities to flow and to atmospheres. Plus, the guys are introvert like us, so there's some similarities between us. Yeah.
Nice one. I was about to say, I think if anyone was struggling for ways to describe someone that might be similar to you, I think anything I would describe as similar to you would have to have a really nice clarity to their guitar tones, and certainly be built on atmosphere and form, arrangement, which is how I see you guys, very much so. And that's also how I see this next track, Wintered Trees, the track is called, by Malicious Inc. out of Bristol in the UK. Some gorgeous delay on the intro guitar with this one, guys. It establishes a really, really nice space and brings in some super heavy vocals. Really, really modern crunch comes on. It's really fantastic stuff. Spoke to the guys a little bit about what they've been up to, and they've done a lockdown video for their track LACFTTW. A lyric video was released by the label for this track, Winter Trees. They're back to rehearsing, ready to head to the studio, record the next singles that will feature on the debut album that they're currently working on. They're looking into some stream gigs. We've spoken a lot on Darkest Corners of the World about musicians making the most of a very bad situation, being unable to play shows, but there's a hell of a lot of writing going on, and there's going to be some great stuff coming out of the underground, no doubt, in the coming months.